Well, a beautiful sunset here in the gateway to the west, St. Louis, Missouri. And this evening's St. Louis FC match is brought to you by the Cheshire, St. Louis, and LHM. For bookings and more information, visit www.cheshirestl.com. The St. Louligans making their way in, and so is Corey Herzog and the gang as they set for St. Louis FC and Portland T2. Mike Pepper and Gary Bailey. And Gary, I think when we look at this one, should be an exciting one here, contrasting styles.
Yeah, Mike, it certainly is. The attack of T2, 13 goals scored, one of the highest scoring teams against a very defensively sound St. Louis, only conceding 5. That's the best in the West. So it is that wonderful contrast, attack versus defense. And
only separated by 1 point, in large part here because we will take a look at our further look here at Sam Fink, who is your Toyota player to watch. Unbelievable save to rescue a point last week.
And look at his body. He's coming in towards goal. He has to turn his body around to get the ball to go out and up, which he does absolutely brilliantly. And thank heavens he does, because he loses his feet. So he wasn't going to be able to stop it if he didn't.
Stoppage time clearance over the bar, and you can see it just roll over. One of the reasons Sam Fink on the USL Team of the Week. And that was one of the great moments there. Another great moment, there was a late goal. And again, they've only scored 7 in 7 games, but boy, they do them at the right time.
Carl Gregg with 3 of those goals, and you can see why. Fantastic ball into the danger area. He does really well to slide that ball into the back of the net.
One of only 3 teams in the USL not to lose in April. Portland, on the other hand, boy, they have been on fire, scoring goals like crazy.
Yes, and Louis coach Anthony Pulis saying they're one of the best teams in the league. They're athletic, they're fit, and they've got great technique. It's going to be a really tough game for St. Louis today. Look at this team, sharp and fit and together, and another good goal here from a set piece. So, tough game ahead.
Absolutely, and just this week, they handed Sacramento their first loss of the season, and that was on a Wednesday night game. They're going to come into St. Louis and try and put an end to this 5-game unbeaten streak. It is St. Louis FC. It is Portland T2. We got kickoff coming up next.
Best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees.
There's really only one place where the carpets are always red and the stars are everywhere you look. There's no place like Hollywood. Hollywood Casino St. Louis.
When you need quality electrical work for your home or business, look to theelectricalconnection.org. Created as a partnership between IBEW Local 1 electricians and the St. Louis chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, the Electrical Connection has been setting the standard for electrical excellence in St. Louis for over 100 years. You can depend on our highly skilled and trained workforce. Your #1 source for quality electrical and communication contractors, electricalconnection.org.
Your summer starts here with a great deal on a new Toyota.
Make this summer the best ever with big savings on many of our most popular models. Offers end June 4th. To find out more about all our great deals, visit Toyota.com.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
St. Louis trying to get control. And in control instead, the net is left open, and it's a goal for Kyle Gregg. The keeper way off the line, and Gregg made it 10.
Ball sent in, and it finds a home early for St. Louis. And ball sent across, and they finally done it. St. Louis FC has found the back of the net.
Well, welcome back to St. St. Louis as we get ready for our USL match, St. Louis FC and Portland T2. A good look there at the St. Louligans, one of the supporters groups, or the supporters group for St. Louis. And boy, they have done some great things they have partnered here for a different charity each game. This one, and they've done $55,000 for various charities. Today is Will's Warriors. Will Oler, a young man who's diagnosed with leukemia. He asked to see if we can get 100 soccer balls. Good news is we're up to 650, but certainly they're going to continue accepting those until next week. So great job. You saw their Twitter. Be sure to get on there. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. As T2, here's the starting lineups. And Gary, when we look at this, a few different faces that we saw on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's a lot of changes, 4 or 5 changes, but players here with a good pedigree. Look up front, Augustine Williams from Sierra Leone, Victor Arboleda there from Colombia. So players who've played at a decent level.
And for St. Louis, a couple changes up front. One of those, we see Kyle Gregg, and boy, oh boy, he's been good early for this team.
Yeah, 3 goals this season so far. He's their main goal scorer, so they'll be looking to get the ball to him. But as their coach, Anthony Poulos, has said, they play it tight, they play it defensive, they keep it in the center of the pitch, they force you wide, they make it as difficult as possible for you to get past them.
Well, we're looking at the teams, and for those who usually watch Portland, they're going to be in all white tonight. St. Louis will be wearing the green shirts and the red socks. They'll be going from left to right on your screen, and we're underway from St. Louis. Well, or not, as we sit there and look. We'll give you the little fake step there, but we'll see if Portland covers back, but it's J.J. Belinsky with the whistle. He'll give it a second whistle, and we are underway here as Kyle Gregg gets us started. And quickly the pressure by Portland will force him to go back, and never a bad thing, Gary, as a former goalkeeper for England International, to get that first touch as Fennelson's doing. Yeah,
could have had a better kick perhaps, but at least he's got himself into the game.
Absolutely. Mike Pepper and Gary Bailey as the ball played up top. Aiden Stanley looking long. It's going to roll down towards the line. A little pressure, but will he be able to keep it in? No, it'll be the goal kick for Portland.
Now, this is a side, Portland, that Coach Anthony Poulos of St. Louis has said is one of the best teams they're going to face. They're quick, they're athletic, they're technical. He's worried as a St. Louis coach, and he's at home, so I'm expecting a lot from Portland today.
Absolutely. I'm standing right next to you when he says, I'm not into superlatives, but boy, he was really complimentary of this team. He likes what he sees on tape.
Yeah, and the players have played at a very, very decent level, as we were saying. I mean, you know, when you're playing in Colombia, when you're playing in Sierra Leone, and 1 or 2 other decent levels, we expect a very good technique from this Portland side.
And they'll play it up towards the corner. Barnby can't get to it, but the ball poked away, and it's Barnby in the box. Barnby's looking for help. He'll try and drop it in. St. Louis able to clear it out, but a careless turnover in the offensive third. But they will get the ball back in midfield.
Yeah, you mentioned Barnby. I mean, he's England under 16, U16, and U18. He's from Leicester City on loan. So once again, just proving that the Portland have access here to players of a high technical ability.
Fink gets it from Reynolds, and they'll go back to Fennelson. Fennelson under pressure, but they'll look to get it out short. And we hear the whistle. And a little late pressure coming in, and a step on the back of Lewis Hilton, who's in a little bit of discomfort.
Oh, I tell you what, that was a nasty little after the ball incident, and he looks hurt. And that could very well have I've got a yellow. Maybe early in the game he's been let off the hook here.
You saw the leg come in late and clipped perhaps the ankle, but I think it looks like he stepped on the right foot, maybe got him with both legs.
Yeah. Nasty one, he's right. It's to be fair, it is a yellow card. Yeah. Like I say, often early in the match, the referee lets that one go. He shouldn't.
And Hilton telling him he did stomp on me. You got to look at that, or at least he's letting the other team, he's letting T2 know.
It always helps to put the referee under a little bit of pressure. So hang on a second, ref. You let one go there. Next time, you know, push it our way, please.
Hilton still having a word with J.J. Belinsky. Shane Kennard and Nicholas Tinoco are on your lines, and Joseph Macht is your 4th official as Fennelson sends it long. It's headed back away. Free in the midfield, but it will come down. And now it's towards the area and into the box, and just a little bit past Joey Calistri, and McIntosh will clean it up for Portland.
Yeah, McIntosh, 24 years of age, also USA international for U17 and U20.
Nice kick. And his 2 former goalkeepers, didn't really do that little sidewinding kick that seems so popular nowadays, Gary.
Yeah, and they're so accurate with it as well. Very, very impressive. Good skills here at the back for Portland.
It's Jimmy Mulligan under pressure, and he's clipped, but it will Be the free kick for Portland.
I guess it's an important game in terms of 3 points, Mike, because both teams are near the top.
Yeah.
The 3 points get you the chance to jump over a whole bunch of teams and start pushing for that top spot.
Yeah, and you know, we've always kind of looked at it. You can't win or make your way into the playoffs in May, but certainly you can start to play yourself out of it. Both these teams, though, are really good. 5th and 7th right now, only separated by a point in the standings, and both of them on good run of play. Chested down. And it's Williams looking over the top. Is it going to get in the area? And it does, and it's Fennelson. Gary, one of the things I was looking at, and when we talked to Anthony Poulos, is about that consistency in the middle. Fennelson, all the starts this year. Reynolds, Fink, Barden, and Hilton, the 2 midfielders in front of him. All of them have played every minute so far for St. Louis this year.
Yeah, good consistency. Only lost 1 match out of 7. Problem is they've drawn 3. That means they've dropped 6 points. So he wants more goals, more wins.
Did Williams hold his run up, and I think the flag came up. He'll turn it around and allow Kavita to send it up the field. Dropped in. This is Barden wearing the captain's armband tonight, as he usually does. Now wide for Stanley. Stanley looking up at the left foot. Played in for Greg. Greg, and this is his time to be dangerous, and he'll earn a corner kick.
Yeah, well done, Greg. That's useful. You want set pieces, especially if you're St. Louis and you're a team that's more defensively focused. When you get a set piece, that's your chance to get bodies forward. Got some big boys in there, and you want to make use of it. So let's see how they do. Let's see if they've got something pre-planned.
It will be Hilton. Raises the arm as if he'll send it in there. He's got a little help out wide, but nothing really there. More token pressure as Portland will force him to play it into the box, towards the back post, across everyone. Headed back across by Fink. Now looking for the scissor kick. It's on Kalistri's foot. The shot is blocked. Into the box and now cleared out of the area. But St. Louis will come up with the loose ball. Good work on the outside as Stanley looks to send it into the box. It will not clear the defender, and now out for a throw.
Well done, St. Louis. Good little passage of play. Deep corner into the box. Well headed back. Little moment there, half a chance.
You never know when that ball falls to the foot right there in the area. What may happen? That time Portland got themselves in front of it, but good dangerous chance early on. Here's Fink. He'll go up the line. Running on to it is Dequa. That's Dakers, excuse me. Now to Dequa, then back out to Dakers. Looking for help. Shifted, Barden, Hilton. Hilton trying to switch it to deflection. This has to be headed away by Tuiloma. And now Portland sends it up the field. First one there is Reynolds. St. Louis attacking. Into the corner for Greg. Greg onto the left foot. And now it's cleared away defensively. Not a very good cross. Looked like he may have thought something distracted him a bit, but he'll get another chance out wide. This one sent in on the far post, and it's McIntosh off his line.
Yeah, too close to the keeper. That you've got to get it away from that 6-yard box. Give your strikers a chance to get at the ball. But good passage of play from St. Louis, and nice and positive. The coach is talking about high pressing. And if not high pressing, certainly pressing when Portland get the ball to a certain point. So here they're allowing them to come, and then they'll press them nice and quickly. So defensively sound here, St. Louis. And the coach doesn't want to give anything away, not even giving a throw-in away.
That long ball by Guzman. Barnby, who started on the right now, or excuse me, on the right now, shifted to the left. Can't keep it in. Into the 8th minute, St. Louis wearing the green jerseys and Red Sox tonight here. And their home game, Portland, the T2 squad, white from head to toe. Is Fennelson looking for a little help?
He's taking his time about this, isn't he?
I think he wanted to go short, but maybe a little high pressure by Portland forced him out. Flipped on, Tuiloma will run it down. He's got the armband here tonight for Portland, and he'll earn the throw in. Excuse me, that's Chidama who's wearing the armband. That 5 and that 6 look really close. But it is Vitas. He'll take the throw.
Lithuanian player, so again a nice mix of countries in that Portland side. Got Colombia and Cameroon, Sierra Leone, and plenty, of course, from the USA, and one England international.
Very international squad here. Right now, it's Dikwa running in towards the corner. He's run off the ball, but will it be a corner kick? It will. Good work there by Dikwa, forcing Jadama. We'll do Jadama to play it off of him. And a reminder here for St. Louis, for every goal scored by St. Louis FC off a corner kick, Electro Savings will be donating $100 to a St. Louis charity. We saw that one a little bit earlier. And we'll get a chance here on this one as well. This one will be the in-swinger, Aiden Stanley up from his left back. Back post. It's going to go over everyone. Kept in on the far side. But taken away by T2. And a long ball, 1v1. First one there is Barton.
It's a pity. That's a waste of a set piece. That one is that long. You know, I get the idea of going back post, but you want to go that far that it's difficult to head the ball back. So
absolutely.
Wasted opportunity.
When the guy's running away from it, and he's not going to be able to do much with it if he does.
Exactly.
That ball will be a goal kick off the throw.
It's interesting with the St. Louis side that the coach, Anthony Poulos, as we were chatting to him during the week, was talking about how the team are getting used to his ideas, his style of play, 4-4-2, keeping it tight, pressing when you can, causing teams problems. It's his style, and I think maybe they're slowly starting to get some traction and understand their coach.
Yeah, the chances have been there, and we kind of talked about that anomaly. 7 games, 7 goals, and, you know, no shutouts, no multi-goal games, and it's a pretty impressive stat in itself, but you want to start picking up those crooked letters. You get a few more, as we talked about, you know, those draws don't get you all the points, and crooked letters typically can.
Got to turn those draws into wins, and that means being a little bit more positive. And when you get set pieces, don't throw them away.
That ball played across. First one there is Jadama, sent out. Hands on the back by Barton. It'll be a free kick for Portland.
Difference in age between the two teams as well, I think, is worth pointing out. St. Louis has seems to be an average age of around about 25-ish, more experienced players, where Portland have youngsters, a lot of 21s, 22s, maybe even a 17 in there. And it's obviously kids that are looking to, or young players who are looking to mature and become even better senior players in time.
The USL, a great professional league, and as we mentioned, you mentioned St. Louis. We see some of the teams with some older players as well around the league, but there are a few of the MLS 2 teams, and Portland so happens to be one of them. And they get a good chance, though, to get some of their players some valuable playing time in a very, very competitive and good league.
Absolutely. Very, very good league. Some of the teams here got top players from other countries and from the US itself, and a good breeding ground for young talent.
Good counter-attack. It's now thwarted a little bit, but St. Louis still going forward, and Hilton will play it out wide. Stanley, left foot, has to turn it back. Good job of recovery by Portland, because it did look like St. Louis had a good opportunity on the break. Still possession now, and Fink on the near side. Looking forward. Errant ball, and T2 will have it, lose it, and now be whistled for the foul.
Well, referee's whistle did go. Got to stop playing there. Victor Arboleda, Colombian, 21 years of age. Played for Deportivo Cali in Colombia. So again, very, very good soccer heritage.
And St. Louis, last year in the Eastern Conference, this year moving back out west. Disappointing year last year, a high turnover, but now a good chance here. And as we mentioned, Anthony Poulos really trying to get his style in, and 5 consecutive games unbeaten at that point. A couple of draws mixed in there, but it is a St. Louis record, and they hope to extend upon it. They've tied a record, excuse me, Gary, but we'll look at that. And be sure to, that is the next home game. St. Louis will get Phoenix at the end of the month.
Yeah, I called the Phoenix game last week. Good team, very good players. Didier Drogba back in again. See him setting up goals in the last match, so that won't be easy.
Also on ESPN3 as well. That one will have an offside, and it will be a free kick for St. Louis. And St. Louis, and we'll recover this. But it'll take the free kick and move it out. Looking to increase pressure. Fans excited as we're into the 14th minute here in St. Louis. Fink under some pressure and a shove a little bit behind. There's a knee to the head afterwards. Williams seemed to get him from behind, and as Langsdorff came in, it looked like Fink went down. Head hit the knee, and right now he's in a little bit of discomfort, and you can see they're asking why maybe something wasn't issued a little bit more.
Yeah, it's hard to see who hit who there, but certainly Fink went down in a bundle. The referee's talking to Williams, and it was good pressure there for a moment from Portland. They were chasing and harrying the St. Louis defenders, maybe slightly overdoing it, and the ref's having a chat with young Augustine Williams at 21 years of age and saying, I know you're enthusiastic, but let's keep it on the right side of the laws, please.
Back underway on a free kick. Fink up. Didn't need attention. You know, sometimes when going to the ground, that player that's next one in just so happened the knee's not a fun place to hit the head on. This one a long ball in towards the corner for Greg. He'll run it down. Tries to turn. He has a little help. Stanley coming behind. Looking on the left foot. He'll chip it in. Short onto Calistri. And now it's played back in. And they'll say it's a goal kick. That ball played off. T2 will play it off of Calistri, who came in on the run.
So far, Carl Gregg's really impressed. A lot of the efforts from St. Louis have come down that left, have come through Kyle Gregg. It's just that final ball in the box needs to be a little bit more accurate, find players, get efforts on target, make sure the keeper, Kendall McIntosh, in shot there, has a bit more work to do. But certainly Kyle Gregg down the left has had a good start to this game.
McIntosh will look to take the free or the goal kick. And we want to be sure to visit one of the 7 local St. Louis area Toyota dealers. You can visit that today as Toyota, proud sponsor of St. Louis FC soccer. Played towards the corner. It'll be a throw in here for St. Louis.
Yeah, once again, Carl Gregg wins the throw in. My question now for St. Louis is what can you do with it? They've had corners, they're getting throw ins near the box.
Well, they ended up taking it way back behind the play just to keep possession quickly. Adjusted, and now T2 Guzman step in. He goes through Hilton. Takers will come back and able to pull away. A good tackle there by Barden around, and a little group defense able to get the ball away from Guzman.
Good pressure here from Portland. They're forcing St. Louis back. Are they going to go long instead? Lots of white shirts there. Look at that. It's getting closed down. It's forcing errors. And eventually they win the ball in midfield. Well done, Portland.
Now cleared away. A little touch on. Now it's going to be free. Couple of players, and the ball back across as Vitas will come in. Still a little confusion, and now it's played out towards the top of the third. It's Barden, first one there. St. Louis now sent into the box. It's headed away by Vitas again, but brought down by Barden. Calistri. Joey Calistri into the box. Tries to go down towards the box, and now it is McIntosh as the defense held up Calistri just enough to allow the goalkeeper to come off the line.
Yeah, once again, well done, St. Louis. They were hemmed in their own half. They were pressed. They were struggling to get out, and then one long ball, and they can turn defense into attack and give McIntosh a little bit of work to do.
Little touch punt. See St. Louis controlling possession early on. But here's the first real good chance here for Portland down towards the corner. Played across the box. Played in, and it's headed out by Dakers. Second ball volleyed, cleared away. Doesn't clear the defense through the 18. Vitas tries to play it back in. And now the clearance just sent up towards midfield. Dequa and Gregg. Gregg will drop it for Dakers. Dakers in to support the attack. Tries to go around Guzman. Guzman holds it up and takes possession. And now Vitas will sit it up the field. Over the top. Foul will be called on Fink. I think that one was like, Fink, all right, let's see. You want to push me from behind?
Yeah, exactly. I remember you. You kicked me about 10 minutes ago.
Take the free kick in midfield. We'll reset. There is another look at it, Fink.
Yeah, little elbow, leading elbow, wasn't there? Just a little reminder. I'm behind you.
Yeah.
This is going to happen again tonight, many, many times.
That's what you hope your central defenders do. Win those balls, but and if you give up a free kick in the midfield every now and then, so be it. Played out wide. Mulligan. Up the field. Will not stay in.
I just want to see how many white shirts come into play here, whether they're going to press high again like they have been doing Portland, making it very difficult for St. Louis to get out of their defense.
You've seen that high pressure and quick touch. And it will roll back and results in the turnover in midfield, and Portland will try and take possession a little bit and work its way up the field. As Jadama get it back from McIntosh, and Vitas and let back a little miscontrol there by Vitas, and he's got to give it back to Jadama under a little pressure, and now Portland will just send it up. This one's a good ball up towards Williams. Williams shouldered off by Fink. Strong job by the defender, and they'll work it out the middle. Over the top towards the corner. Dequa. Now Dequa to Calistri. Calistri will look at Mulligan. Mulligan does enough to turn him backwards, and it'll come back to Stanley. Again, St. Louis resets in the midfield. Through the back line. This time it's Barden to Calistri. Joey Calistri onto the right foot. Tries to go to the far post, and it's well clear of the goal.
Yeah, Calistri will just, as he got the ball, I'm thinking, do something quality, put it in the box, give the guys in the box some chance. And unfortunately knocks it way long. That's the quality you need in that final third. So much good work and effort before that from St. Louis. Just got to be a little bit more careful in getting that final pass into the danger area.
St. Louis on the green shirt, Red Sox. Guess what? It's Cinco de Mayo Day here in St. Louis. They're doing some exciting things in the green and red of the Mexican flag with the white shorts. Will win the ball. And now sent up the field by Fennelson as he's under pressure. There'll be a throw in here for T2. It's one of the things usually we're used to seeing Portland wearing the green, but you know, it's nice in St. Louis here. They're doing something on the Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, foul there from Vitas. He's been a little bit slow to start, Vitas. A little bit slow with his passes and tackles. So let's see if he can up his game. Yeah, it's late. You've got to be careful. That's very close to a yellow.
I think the immediate hand down may have done him a little bit of a favor if he turned around.
Yes, yes, you're quite right. Always got to help the player off the ground and apologize to the referee. Nothing wrong with that.
And will it stay in bounds? No, it will be a throw in here for St. Louis. Dropped in, Barden. Sent along by Fink as we've reached the halfway mark of the first half here in St. Louis, and the deflection will result in a goal kick as Jadama will play it off of Greg.
It seems to work fairly well for St. Louis. Sometimes it's a long ball. You aim for Greg. He's going to cause problems. I don't think there's anything wrong with mixing it up. You can play through the middle. But when Fink was under pressure there, the one guy he looks for every time, Kyle Gregg.
Here's Williams. Runs it down. Good job. Possession. He'll send it back. Mike Pepper, Gary Bailey. Toyota Stadium here in St. Louis. Scoreless between Portland T2 wearing the all-white. And that will go off of Portland. Should be a St. Louis throw. St. Louis FC honoring Mexican national holiday, Cinco de Mayo. It'll become a very popular holiday here in the States. Turned by Dakers. Dakers takes it towards the corner, allows to let his teammates get in the box, and he'll drop it back here for Kavita. Found well Kavita, back to Dakers. Dakers on the left foot, tries to go in. It's a little beyond Hilton. Second ball will lay it out. Now one, and now sent up the field by Barnby. And Williams will be whistled for fouling Sam Fink.
Yeah, Fink and Williams having a little stare down there.
Actually, I was wrong. I guess it was the first one.
Yeah.
Wasn't there. It's called on Fink on action before the ball got to him. And Mulligan. Ball played across. And won by St. Louis. Barden on it. Barnby into Guzman. Guzman will tee up a shot, and it's going to go wide.
Yeah, it's a poor shot in the end, but nice build-up play, nice pressure from Portland. But yeah, I don't mind players shooting from 25 yards out as long as they make the goalkeeper work. But when it goes wide of the goal, that can be frustrating for a coach.
You'd like to at least test the goalie, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. You never know. You know, the grass might be a little bit wet. The keeper takes his eye off the ball. You never know what can happen.
Oh, we see great goalies do it all the time. One of my favorites is the Costa Rican goalkeeper, Keylor Navas, for Real Madrid. And I think you go back to that second game of that Juventus leg, and boy, he had a howler where you don't expect that from him, but got away with it when they advanced.
Well, yeah, you're right. He got away with it thanks to Ronaldo's penalty in the last minute.
Absolutely.
Having said that, he's made some wonderful saves.
Without him, they don't advance against Bayern Munich this last game. So that's what great goalies do, and that's when we talk about you never know. You play it in, force the goalkeeper to make that save. Here's St. Louis. Again, played back to Hilton. And now Fink. Turned in for Dakers.
Too much space to turn there, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Oh, bad defending there from Portland. You can't allow someone to turn 10 yards outside your box like that.
Gregg's cross goes out, and it will be a corner kick. And it is the Electro Savings corner kick.
Right, let's see what they can do now. This is their, what is this, their third or fourth?
Third one, I believe.
Yeah. So they need to get it into the danger area, give your big boys a chance.
If it's an outswinger, it'll be Hilton. It is. Ooh. Sent in. Dangerous ball dips down. Portland first one there. Still loose towards the corner. It is Barnby who clears it out, but it's right to Hilton. Hilton drops it in. Played back in, and is he outside? No, he is onside. Hilton now tries to go, and it will be deflected back into the hands of Kendall McIntosh.
Now that was a good corner kick, and well done, St. Louis. Fantastic. Carl Gregg so nearly gets on the end of that. That's what you want to do. Give your strikers something to go for, some chance of getting a header in 5 or 6 yards out.
That's Eric Williamson who's in there now for T2. That ball played in long. Fennelson will wait and pick it up. The high bounce. They can go in. We talked about Tui Boma, but there's Williamson already in. Wearing the number 30 jersey, but that one will go out, and it'll be Mulligan who will have to throw in now for T2, the former New York Cosmo. Gary, we played about 28 minutes. We've seen a couple shots for each team, but neither one is, neither keeper been tested yet.
Yeah, and I'm sure both coaches will say, guys, you've tried hard, you've worked well, some nice touches, but the whole aim of the game is to get the other keeper working, get headers on target, shots on target. Not been enough of that.
That's headed out. Is Barmby. There's a throw. Oh, good touch. Turned over in the defensive third, but Barden wins it back after losing it. And, well, we'll lose it again, though. Barmby under pressure, splits the defender. Williams will get it back out. Barmby, left foot, the deflection. Can Fennelson keep it in? I think he does.
Yeah, good call from the keeper. You could hear the shout of leave it or whatever it was. It was a big loud shout. Defender ducks and he saves his team a corner.
Stanley up. Dequa goes down wanting a foul, none given. It's Guzman. Drops it in. There is Tuiloma. Dama moving wide, but he'll drop it back in. Looks like we've shifted a little bit, perhaps, at least maybe temporarily right now. We see Guzman kind of shifting into the middle and Chidama going out wide. It is Chidama, whose touch is bad. That one played in for Dequa. As Greg goes, and it will roll through. Step over, very casual defense, but smart play.
Well, I don't know how smart that was. I think the coach nearly had a heart attack. You can't go dumbing the ball like that, surely. Wow.
That one will not work again, so don't try it.
Yeah, I think the coach might have a little word with him at halftime.
Towards the corner. It's Williams. And you see a little frustration on the foul call.
Williams has been in the thick of it, getting pushed and shoved by the defenders and trying to give as good as he gets.
And he's earned the free kick. Here's Anthony Poulos.
He's not happy.
Yeah, doesn't agree with the call.
No, he seems to be suggesting that there's a little touch of favoritism towards Portland Timbers.
Fennelson wanting someone up towards the near post to watch that driven ball in. Trying to get his team marked up. And drop it back. It will be similar to a corner, a few yards in from it, but the free kick. Will they go short? No. Yes, they will eventually. Dropped back in. Williamson plays it over far post on the runner in by Dama, just over his head.
That's a very, very well-worked free kick, or similar to a corner, because the white shirts ran to the near post, ran out, dragged all the defenders with them, and ran back in again a second time. Very well rehearsed, and they nearly got something from it.
So the goal kick for St. Louis as we're in the 32nd minute. St. Louis wearing the Cinco de Mayo themed red and green for the home crowd. Portland in the all white. And we are scoreless. Oh, good move, but you're on the sideline, so it will result in a throw for Portland. Tuiloma. And back to McIntosh, who will play it out wide. A little deliberate here for Portland as they're trying to seem to settle down, slowed it down a little bit right now, Gary.
Yeah. I mean, it's one defensive team, which is St. Louis that operate on a counter-attack. Just Portland are battling to get their game going. You know, you see them as an attacking force, a team that can play their way through. They've got the skill. They're not taking risks. They're not having a go. They're quite happy, as we can see, just to knock it around. If I was a coach, I'd be saying, come on, guys, you're out there to impress me. You know, they're all young. They all want to progress at Portland Timbers. They need to show their coach they've got something a little bit special.
Now Guzman on the left foot, driven ball. It's headed out by Kavita. Manuel Kavita rolls past Williamson. Williamson lets Guzman play it out to Mulligan. And again, they'll reset to Iloma. Across to Vitas. And kept in by St. Louis. They'll take possession now. Up the field. Fink runs into it and it's a foul. We'll probably see a card here.
Yeah.
Like we saw a little strong shoulder there, perhaps, to the head of Williamson, or to Augustine Williams, excuse me.
Yep. I think he deserves a yellow card at this stage. Yet the card is out. It's been numerous, and with referees, they can. It might not be one foul, but it might be accumulation. And he certainly has been leaving his. He's been leaving his card there a few times with an elbow, and he's been given a proper warning now. But that's also the job of Augustine Williams, assuming that's him getting up off the ground there, to get in the face of the defender, to force the defender to. To misjudge tackles, to get himself a little bit wound up. And Fink's got to be careful now.
Yeah, and we saw Fink, who got clipped a little bit earlier from behind, and a couple of strong fouls. That one did seem a little bit more so. We saw that maybe the arm extended a little bit and closer to the head of Williams. And that will result in the yellow card.
Yeah. It was a scrappy bit of play until then. It just nothing settled down. No one could get their foot on the ball. Now for Portland Timbers, a good set piece. Let's see what they can do with this one. Very impressed with their last set piece, by the way. Let's see if they can get creative on this one.
It's Williamson if it's the right foot. It's Barnby if it's the left foot. And it will be Barnby sending it towards the far post. Up strong there, and it's headed away by St. Louis. And now Dikwa tries to run out of the area, and Dikwa is fouled behind the play.
I just wonder for St. Louis if it's going to be easier for them to knock the long ball, because once again, Kyle Gregg is such a problem for Portland Timbers, and they're trying to play it up, St. Louis, and they're getting bogged down. Look at the white shirts pressurizing. I think once in a while, knock the ball long. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's see if they can do something from this.
They were looking for Dikwa there as Gregg kind of settled into the high number 9 position there for St. Louis. Dikwa drops it back and stepped on by Stanley. Counterattack here for T2. Tried to drive in, and as that ball played across by Arboleda, he'll earn the throw, and he'll take it quickly.
Yep, possession's changed. It's building for Portland Timbers now. The last 10 minutes, they've been dominating a little bit more, forcing St. Louis back. And that's why I'm suggesting maybe a long ball once in a while just to help relieve the pressure for St. Louis. Yeah, there you go. Let's see what happens.
It is over for Dakers. Dakers will have Vitas on him. One-on-one, you'd like to see him go at him. He doesn't have a lot of help in the box yet. Now they're coming in, headed away by Chidama. And now Portland has it out as Guzman. First touch let him down a little bit, but they'll try and go over the top for Williams. They do. Augustine Williams, is that a handball? Yes, it is. Arm comes up, and Augustine Williams whistled for the handball.
And it's still Fink marking him after the yellow card, so Fink might want to pass that job on to somebody else and not risk getting a second yellow.
Let Reynolds in on that one for a little while.
Once again, St. Louis, when they were attacking edge of the box, bad ball. And let's have a look at this. Yeah, the arm's a little bit outstretched. But earlier, St. Louis were on the attack. The quality of the ball into the box, not good enough again.
That is true. Can't beat that defender. He had 3 green and reds up. Draw drops it. It's Gregg. Gregg goes at the defender and tries to drop it in for Dikwa. It's played back to the feet, so McIntosh has to send it out as the pressure from Dikwa. And as Fink goes up over the top, as we hit into the 38th minute, the play will continue on a little bit. We did see the foul whistled for the Fink, and you said we've already seen the yellow card. Fink goes up high on that one. Yep. You suggested that it's something they're going to want to watch, and particularly these last 7 minutes. You want to get them in to the locker room. And Central defenders are used to cards, but sometimes when you're the subject of all those fouls in a row, not a good thing. Now into the box, and that's sent across. Fendelson knocks it down. It's loose. It's off Fendelson, off his back and off the post. T2 almost had a gift. It's Fendelson's first ball left in, but he's able to get that second save.
Yeah, so close for Fendelson there. He had to go it himself. Why? Because he's pushed it out into the danger area. He either must get it, a good hand on that, or punch it clear, but he didn't. He knew it straight away. Have a look at it. Ball comes in. Ball gets knocked across. Now, where's the keeper? Drops the ball right into the danger. There he is. He's saying to himself, come on, you've got to hold those.
Another angle there. You can see it goes off his backside and off the post. That ball sent in by Williams and cleared out, but he'll get the second ball now sent in by Mulligan on the far post. Here's Williams, or excuse me, Jadama. His second ball cleared out, and it's off the hand of Guzman. Underneath Vitas. Vitas will just keep possession again as he's got help from Mulligan. Looking to switch the field, and Stanley running away from it, goes off the back of his head. Arboleda can't get the second ball, third ball in, and it's in the area. Bodies collide. Reynolds got in the way.
Oh, for a moment there, I thought he might get the penalty called against him. Very lucky. Lost possession in there. You cannot lose possession in the box. And then he crashes in to the striker.
I think Langsdorff left his feet early before the touch, and that's probably what did it. But you talked about that losing possession in the penalty area. Boy.
Yeah. Just wasn't quite enough, was it? There was contact, but not enough to call a penalty.
I think Langsdorff left his feet before contact, and that made the referee decide it wasn't. But now we'll get a foul on the other side as Vitas will take down Duquois.
Well, Vitas, if you're going to take down the player, don't push him into the linesman, because he's going to give the free kick against you. Have a look here. Is there a push? Yeah, there's a push with the right elbow. Vitas has struggled a little bit. He's the one part of the Portland team where I've not been too impressed so far. Hopefully he can turn it around and improve in the second half. And once again, we're back to set pieces again. Now, this is very similar to a corner out wide. Quality, give your forwards something to work with.
Hilton on the ball, sent in towards the top of the area. First time in off the chest of Portland. Second ball now sent in, shot, and McIntosh got a fingertip on it. Great save by McIntosh, and it will be a corner kick. It will be Electro Savings corner kick for St. Louis, but a great chance for St. Louis FC.
Nice one, Kendall McIntosh. Good stretch, saw the ball coming. It was from a long way out, but nice bit of quality for the shot and from the keeper. Let's see what they can do once again, St. Louis, with their set piece.
Stanley on the left foot if they decide to go with the outswinger. And again, Hilton. This time Hilton steps over. It's Stanley near post. And Calistri doesn't get to it first. Portland clears that headed ball back in the box, and now it's sent up the field again. Off the head of Hilton.
Yeah, once again, we've been saying you've got to take your chances in set pieces. This is a shot after the just gets a fingertip. Might have been going wide, but lovely stretch from the keeper. And at least there's an effort of a shot from St. Louis.
Kyle Gregg from distance.
Why am I not surprised it's Kyle Gregg? He's been superb this first half.
Another chance for T2. This one's going to be over the head, and Fendelson will run it down with no one around him. We'll slow it down. Looking at the 43rd minute.
Yeah, I think, going into the second half, St. Louis with Anthony Pulis, I would still knock more long balls in for Kyle Gregg. There he is, causing problems. If they try and play their way through this Portland side, it's going to be very difficult. There's Gregg on the ball.
Tries to drop it in for Calistri running in. Dakers. And it is kind of what we expected. St. Louis, top in the West in goals against, giving up only 5 in their 7 games, but only scoring 7 as well. And they're trying to make it number 8 here. And it's played on, and it's just wide.
Don't tell me that was Kyle Gregg again, was it?
I believe it was Gregg on the left foot.
Very good for the keeper there, just to Kendall McIntosh, just to follow the ball. You know, there's no point giving away an unnecessary corner by touching it. Let's have a look here. He just follows it past the goal just to make sure that it's never going to be a threat.
It is Greg.
There's Carl Gregg again.
Nice ball in by Stanley, finding Greg on the run. Tried to go back post. Two St. Louis players collide. Throw in for T2 is the 44th minute. Mulligan. Now the header clear, and throw in as they work their way down the field. Quick one taken by T2.
Yeah, Portland in very much in control this last 15 minutes. It was a good start by St. Louis. But slowly Portland have got on top. They've got their passing game going. They've become more and more of a threat.
That one sent over the top and onto the far side. It's Dequois. Dequois' next touch is not good, and it's cleared out by T2. Fink will take it away from him. Tries to get to Dakers. The tackle by T2, and it's Lewis Hilton. Hilton drops it in for Barden. Barden tries to go in the box for Greg, and it will be a throw-in as we approach the 45th minute. Believe we will have a minute of stoppage time. We did see a couple of players down for a moment, but certainly not a lot here, determined by J.J. Belinsky as St. Louis looks to attack here in this last minute. Drop back, and Vita sends it up the field. Reynolds back in. Here the St. Louligans trying to root on the team in the background.
Yeah, it's lovely. I think the supporters have been fantastic. You know, no goals to celebrate, but they've chanted, they've sung. And what you were saying earlier about them raising money is absolutely brilliant. Oh, careful, careful, careful. Now you're both going to end up getting yellows if you're not, if you don't watch yourself.
Hilton and Williamson. And we talked about it, and of course a great name for a supporters group in St. Louligans, and you can hear the raucousness, and you talked about the numbers that go in there. But Williamson right now getting a talking to. Looked like Hilton may come in, and then maybe the second shove seems to be what the attention is getting right now, because Hilton has worked his way down the field.
Yeah, he's left the scene of the crime.
Yes, he has.
Very shrewd. But you can't go running after players, Williamson, and start, you know, bumping them. Yep, that's why you got the yellow.
It will be a yellow
Very careful. Can't react like that. Doesn't matter how you explain it, you can't do it. Well done to the referee. He's managed this very well first half. Impressed with the refereeing.
Through these first 45 minutes, and I imagine here is this yellow card recorded in the books for Eric Williamson. Here you can see there, Hilton whistled for the foul, throws him backwards, and at that point, there's the chest.
Oh, that's what you can't do. If someone pulls you to the ground, turn to the referee, appeal, get the free kick, say a few more words, and off you go.
Down the field now, up looking. The runner is Barnby into the corner. He's going to set up a tee shot here if he can, and it's headed away by St. Louis. Second ball, chopped down. Now it's headed out. As Calistri plays it towards midfield, we'll have the halftime whistle. Here's we've played 45 minutes in St. Louis, and we are scoreless. Gary, your thoughts on that first half? I mean, you were talking about it in the last couple minutes, but early action for St. Louis really counted by Portland later on.
Yeah, Portland getting much stronger. You've got two players on yellow, so we'll see how that goes second half. But if you're the Portland Timbers coach, I think you're the slightly happier as you're in the ascendancy. But certainly St. Louis, can they make better use of their set pieces? Because they had plenty in that first half.
Halftime brought to you by Hollywood Casino, and we'll have it for you in return. We're scoreless. St. Louis FC and Portland T2.
starts here with a great deal on a new Toyota.
Make this summer the best ever with big savings on many of our most popular models. Offers end June 4th. To find out more about all our great deals, visit Toyota.com.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
St. Louis trying to get control. And in control instead, the net is left open, and it's a goal for Kyle Craig. The keeper way off the line, and Craig made it pay.
Ball sent in, and it finds a home early for St. Louis. Ball sent across, and they finally done it. St. Louis FC has found the back of the net.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need
There's really only one place where the carpets are always red and the stars are everywhere you look. There's no place like Hollywood. Hollywood Casino, St. Louis.
When you need quality electrical work for your home or business, look to the electricalconnection.org. Created as a partnership between IBEW Local 1 electricians and the St. Louis chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, the Electrical Connection has been setting the standard for electrical excellence in St. Louis for over 100 years. You can depend on our highly skilled and trained workforce, your #1 source for quality electrical and communication contractors, electricalconnection.org.
For many of these young footballers, playing in the USL is not so much a job as it is the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. But what if these guys weren't playing professional soccer? That's the question we're asking in tonight's edition of the Hollywood Casino Halftime Report. Take a look.
If I wasn't playing professional soccer right now, it would probably be...
Oh, that is a really good question.
If I wasn't playing professional soccer... Oh, man.
If I wasn't playing soccer professionally, I'd hope to be playing basketball professionally. I'm not tall enough for the NBA, so I'd probably be in Europe somewhere.
If I wasn't playing soccer professionally, I would either be playing basketball professionally or I would be a lawyer.
Honestly, I'd probably be a soccer agent. Honestly, I was always big into like marine biology. I have this thing for great white sharks.
I picked up a camera and just started taking photos and doing a lot of video work, just of trips we've taken and stuff like that. And so I think if I wasn't playing, I'd love to get into that world.
If I wasn't playing soccer, I would be
maybe working in sports marketing or some type of sports agency.
A history professor, just because I like academics. I read a lot of books.
I would say flipping houses, because I'm a very do-it-yourself kind of guy.
Probably coach. I love the game. Can't get away from it, so probably pursuing my life as a coach.
If I'm not playing soccer, I'm doing missions around the world, and I'm interacting with marginalized people and just doing the best that I can to love.
Probably something either working with kids or working overseas in missions aspect.
If I wasn't playing soccer, something involved in the sport, I would say. Coaching, strength and conditioning, something like that. I haven't got too many other skills, so it'd have to be soccer related.
Lawyer or a singer.
Can you sing anything?
No.
So you wouldn't be a singer?
Exactly.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of The Breakdown. Really excited to analyse the plays of the week this week. We even have an ESPN Sports Center #1 in the top 10. I hope you enjoy.
Great little move there from Cooper. Sends it across. It's Jamal Johnson.
The first play from Jamal Johnson here is his goal. If you watch when he picks the ball up, he has almost like a 8 to 10 meter radius around him. And that's created by his movement and his space. You know, he's recognized that when he's going into the box, that he doesn't need to make the first post run. He doesn't need to make the far post run. It's an extremely difficult finish, and it's coming across his body, and he makes extremely good contact on the ball. He uses the pace of the cross and slots it right into the corner.
To have a completely open view of what's happening. Oh my goodness. What a goal.
I don't think there's any doubt as to why this was the #1 on the ESPN Sports Center. It's a very special thing for a player to see a goalkeeper off a line, especially from a goal kick, because he's not expecting the ball to bounce to him, especially the way it bounced to him. So when the ball did bounce to him, I think that he just thinks, why not? And he's just shown everyone there is the technique that he has, but he also showed me what I feel as though is the mentality of a player, which is something that we've not seen yet this season. I think it's fantastic.
Francois takes it away, plays it back, Brett holds, scores!
Yes, what a great pullback.
Francois' defensive play here is what creates the goal. You know, his teammate loses the ball, he takes a bad touch, but he doesn't give up on it, and he persists, and his reaction to the turnover is fantastic. And then Brett can either do one or two things. He can take a touch or he can finish it first time. The defender thinks he's going to take a first-time shot, and that's what then allows him to have the composure to relax, take the touch, and it's a great finish.
Manila makes a meal out of that one. Now Ledesma on the breakaway, and it's 3-0 as he chips Maxime Crepeau.
This goal for Cincinnati in the 76th minute is a lot about anticipation for Ledesma. The defender makes a great decision here to play the ball in behind, and when the Ottawa defender makes the mistake, and again he anticipates the mistake, maybe if it was 0-0 at the time and he was going on to win the game or try and win the game, he might have taken a touch close to the keeper. But with the way they were playing, I completely understand why he's taken the first-time finish. Thank you for watching the breakdown on Week 7. As you can see, some fantastic goals, some fantastic plays, and I've really enjoyed analysing them. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Following us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and by subscribing to our YouTube channel. As always,
Well, it's one of the warmer nights here in St. Louis as the weather's turning there, and the mosquitoes and moths have found their way out, but the St. Louligans, those fluorescent green-lit drums, getting a chance to take a little bit of a break here at the halftime as they are keeping the crowd raucous here today. Mike Pepper and Gary Bailey as we look at it. And there's a good look at the USL Team of the Week. And, of course, tonight, Sam Fink last week got it. Tonight he's got a yellow card for him showing. But it's a pretty good group there of these players that made an impact last week here in the USL.
Well, Fink's clearance off the line was absolutely brilliant last week. But today he's going to have to be careful. He's been bumping around a couple of the strikers, especially Augustine Williams, and the referee's got his eye on him. He's given him a warning, given him a yellow card. He's, one late mistimed tackle second half, and he could be going for an early bath. So he's going to have to watch himself second half.
You see Becker, the player of the week out of North Carolina FC, one of the new teams here in the USL, and a couple players in the battery, and Thomas and Wild, and all these teams having a good week. And you can see the success when you basically you make the Team of the Week, your team's doing something right. And that's no different as those players. Here's a good look here at the St. Louis fans, but we'll also take a look at the ESPN schedule of what will be showing up here. And the bottom one, we saw that game a little bit earlier on May 30th, St. Louis FC against Phoenix Rising. We talked about that, but a lot of good matchups you can catch up on ESPN3. I think which one are you looking forward to a little bit on that, Gary? I think Nashville and Indy, a couple of the new teams back into the league. That'll be good, as well as St. Louis and Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix are a good side, and if Didier Drogba's playing, I mean, I love him as a player. What he achieved for Chelsea was just phenomenal. So even if we're seeing him at the sort of tail end of his career, he's well worth paying the entrance money to go and watch what he can do. So that'll be a good match. St. Louis up against Phoenix Rising.
Well, Will got second half of St. Louis FC. They're taking Portland T2. We got highlights and stats coming up next. Scoreless here from St. Louis, Portland T2 and St. Louis FC.
Your summer starts here with a great deal on a new Toyota.
Make this summer the best ever with big savings on many of our most popular models. Offers end June 4th. To find out more about all our great deals, visit Toyota.com.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
When you need quality electrical work for your home or business, look to the electricalconnection.org. Created as a partnership between IBEW Local 1 electricians and the St. Louis chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, the Electrical Connection has been setting the standard for electrical excellence in St. Louis for over 100 years. You can depend on our highly skilled and trained workforce, your #1 source for quality electrical and communication contractors electricalconnection.org.
St. Louis trying to get control. And in control instead, the net is left open, and it's a goal for Kyle Craig. The keeper way off the line, and Craig made it pay.
Ball sent in, and it finds a home early for St. Louis. And ball sent across, and they finally done it. St. Louis FC has found the back of the net.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need
There's really only one place where the carpets are always red and the stars are everywhere you look. There's no place like Hollywood. Hollywood Casino St. Louis.
Well, welcome back here to St. Louis as we played 45, and very shortly we'll play the second 45. Oh boy, don't get me started with those sweet items, or even that one too, Gary. I think maybe a little bit of a cold one. Can't do that here right now, but certainly the fans can. Let's get a good look at the highlights here, what we saw in the first 45. St. Louis in T2, we mentioned scoreless, but there's been a couple chances for both teams.
There certainly have been chances. There's been a couple of rough tackles as well, and Sam Fink letting Augustine Williams know that he was around.
That one did not get the card, but we'll see that in a moment, I think. We saw that hard one by Vitas. A little slow on the ball there on that time.
Once again, the referee having to make a decision and just letting Vitas off the hook there. I'm not so sure, again, that he should have let him off the hook. That's a yellow.
Here is that yellow card, and you can see. We noticed that there too, Gary. We saw that little extra look that he took before he made the contact.
100% leads with the elbow. There you go. It just gives him a little hi, I'm around, and you can't do that too often. He got away with it once, doesn't get away with it a second time. Yellow card. He's going to have to be careful second half.
Don't like those center defenders with it. Here's the best chance here for Portland.
Yeah. Goalkeeper Fennelson, he's having a go at himself. He knows that he spilled that right into the danger area, and perhaps Portland could have taken better advantage of it. Look at it again, keeper got to hold on to that.
You see, he got his hand on that one, so it'll go down as a save. Maybe he was just trying to get that save column up. This one something that gives a good chance here eventually here for Greg.
Yeah, Greg, he's been trouble for Portland all along. I think it was just going wide there, but McIntosh just making 100% sure. But Carl Gregg, if there's one player who can get a breakthrough for St. Louis, that's your man.
Well, and there's the McIntosh save, and I think as we see a little bit more here, this one was a good chance for Greg as well, that ball by Stanley.
Yeah, he makes something out of nothing. He's going towards the near post, a very difficult angle, but he puts it into the danger area, and he makes Kendall McIntosh scramble and think, is this going in the corner or not? Have a look at it again, gets the touch, keeper goes past, just sees it around the post.
And that second look, I thought maybe he may have got off the leg of that and do a corner kick. But we look at the stats here. No goals, both teams have put it in. We've seen a pretty even game, and we saw that possession number really skewed for St. Louis early, but Portland has evened that out.
Yeah, Portland's comeback. Last 20 minutes was all Portland's. They looked much, much better, quicker out wide. They were causing problems. Once again, shots on target, one each first half. If I'm a coach, come on, guys, make the goalkeepers work, Hey, he's saying the same. Come on, I want more.
We saw the yellow card. Hey, watching us there on ESPN Plus there, Gary. Launching it all there. Let the young man know we see him out there. But Fink with the yellow card for St. Louis. Williamson for Portland. We'll be looking to see how these teams will come out. What do you expect them to see a little bit here as we hit the second 45?
Portland to keep gaining the confidence and the ability they have, a little bit of pace out wide, and I'm hoping that St. Louis knock a few long balls when they can't play it out. That's your man. Knock the ball to him. They've got a wonderful crowd there. Can't say again how awesome they are. They've been singing throughout, raising money for charity, and they want to see something. So you're the home side. If you can't play it through the middle because Portland are too good and they're closing you down, knock it long to Greg, run off him, and get some action, get something in the box, and who knows, maybe you get the breakthrough.
St. Louis FC, once again, lots of fun things in the stands, and the team doing a good job of honoring the Cinco de Mayo holiday by wearing the colors of Mexico with the green jerseys, white shorts, and the red socks. They've already set up for the field. T2 still doing it. And T2 looks like they've made a substitution. We'll try and get that for you out in just a moment, but they did just similar to me. And Guzman will come off. Lamar Batista will come on. And the substitution brought to you by G&W Meats. It does look like we're going to see Kyle Culbertson as well for St. Louis, who's been the left back in the previous games. We'll see if he made his way on for Aiden Stanley or not. But Culbertson on, and again, that Culbertson, his substitution brought to you by G&W Meats as well. Well, looks like we got even another substitution perhaps for Portland. I see Andre Lewis, who's in the game. Once again, G&W Meats are getting their money's worth here at the halftime as all the substitutions coming out. But we'll see a few changes, and as we mentioned, we'll see who Lewis came on for there. Lewis was just on the ball a moment ago, but it is Jadama looking out. Fink will run it down. Fink under some pressure, now run back on. A good chance, shot saved by Fendelson. Fendelson was out. Fink really kind of got lost with the ball up in the midfield, and is it saved for a corner kick? No, it will be a corner kick for Portland.
Well done, Fendelson. Good save. That was really, really good save. Pushes it wide. He had one little moment in the first half where we questioned him. He's made up for it with that excellent save, but you're right to question the defending there.
Yeah, Fink looked like he should have played it early, and then the pressure put on it. He lost it. And the pressure almost resulted in the goal for T2.
Good start from Portland. They look like they mean business. They're getting better and stronger in that first half. They've kept it going at the start of the second.
Here is Williamson. Headed up and over the top, and it was Culbertson in for Stanley. And Tulioma may have had a little head-to-head contact. He's down right now. I think he's gotten his way up. So as we mentioned, Batista on. Taken by Calistri. Barden up to Dakers, and now wide for Kavita. First time whipped in, about the penalty spots over the head of Greg. Run down towards the corner. First one there looks to be T2 in the form of Barnby. Guessing quickly that was Foster Langsdorff that may have come off for Hilton, but we'll verify that.
Well, it's good to see St. Louis getting across into the box there, giving Carl Gregg something to work with. He's not going to get on the end of everything, but the more you get in there, the more Portland have to worry about keeping bodies back, about defending in numbers. At the moment you don't create offensive opportunities, they can push back, push from the back rather, Portland, and get in your half and cause you problems instead.
Yeah, we have seen that high pressure. It's Hilton challenged for that. Hilton will run it down. Play it back to Jadama. And Jadama just sends it up the field. A throw in for St. Louis.
Well, we do hope for Mike, of course, his goals. St. Louis, obviously, with the home side, you want to see the home side score. But once one team scores, it generally starts to open up the match. So from a neutral perspective, and from a home team perspective, perhaps, St. Louis, let's try and get a goal on the board.
Long throw. Brought down now. St. Louis, and that long throw puts him under pressure. Calistri steps over. Hilton tries to go back. The tackle cleared out. Williamson. And T2 will have it. It was actually Vitas that came in for Hilton.
Yeah, we were saying first half that Vitas didn't look like he was really on form today. Had a few problems, wasn't doing enough. And you know what? If you're the coach and you got a player who's not on game, and you got others you can bring on, then that's how it works. So Vitas might want to look at that performance and try and improve it next time out.
And I'm correcting myself. It's Andre Lewis that was on here for it. So Lewis is on for Vitas. There is Langsdorff. Tries to get it up, and now the touch sent back up the field by Reynolds. Run down now towards the near sideline. Here's Calistri. Culbertson, one of his first touches. We'll play it back. And as Reynolds goes across, that ball is a Select soccer ball. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Of course, the USL schedule in May with the US Open Cup coming up, Gary, too. These coaches have to be aware a little bit of what's happening on the schedule. And T2 just had a big win on Wednesday night, so maybe some of these guys traveling halfway across the country fatigued. And St. Louis, they got a busy schedule next week heading out towards the West Coast themselves.
Yeah, it seems that St. Louis make less changes than Portland do. They seem to want to play with the same sort of structure, same style, same main players.
Dealing with some injuries too, as we talked to Coach Poulos. And while getting healthier, still a little bit of a short squad, and it will be tough over the next 10 to 12 days. That one played in towards the box, back post, and good defensive job. It's still in though, so it's sent up in the air, and now St. Louis still has it. Thought it was going out for a corner, but Culbertson has it. He'll try and send it in. That blocked by Barmby.
That was a quality cross put in. That's what we've been saying we want first half. I'm sure the coaches have been saying exactly the same. When you put this quality ball in the box, you give your strikers a real chance there.
Looking for Dequa in that case. This one shot over the bar. They're asking for a tip, but I think it did cross over the line without going off the hand of McIntosh. And it will be a goal kick.
Good. We're taking it up a level second half. A bit of excitement.
Get a couple of chances.
Yeah. Good quality crosses and shots there from St. Louis. That's what the crowd want to see. They're the home side. They're going to make it happen.
There's another look there at that shot. Greg, that's what you're supposed to do. That's that referee. Maybe you'll get a call. A couple players' heads collide. That's Calistri. That's Williams.
That's Williams again. He's been spoken to by the referee before. I wonder if he's in trouble. Didn't actually see the collision, so it's difficult to say what happened.
Another look at it. Yeah, the ball kind of got pushed in. Williams was in with Culbertson and kind of got sandwiched in, and it was Calistri that took the worst of it.
Yep. So he's warning him again. So although he couldn't see anything, what he's saying is anything else happens from now on, you're in trouble, you're in the book. So Augustine Williams is going to have to tread very carefully from now on.
Here's Culbertson. Here's Culbertson. Now Dakers cuts inside. He's dispossessed. T2 will look to bring it out the back. Going long, and Fink makes a recovery tackle to slow it down at least, and he'll get the second ball. Fink was almost beaten, but the tackle just enough. And they'll look to go forward with St. Louis. Another chance now as Barden comes up the field, and it's into the feet of Culbertson. And now again, Culbertson drops it back. And if you saw halftime, you can get a player's perspective of all the action around the USL every Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blake Down on the USL YouTube channel. Sent out on the far side. Whipped into the box. This one's not good. It's behind everyone. No runner on the backside except for Barmby, who collects it for T2 to send it up the field. But there's no one in white anywhere near that ball.
Yeah, a dominant spell here for St. Louis. And yep, free kicks. They can get some bodies in the box.
Williamson clipped Dequa.
Again, as we've said all first half, when it comes to set pieces, free kicks and corners, quality. Give something up there to Kyle Gregg, possibly would be your main target man.
Hilton has asked for 10. Setting it up like he wants to go on, but he's about 35 out. But they're going to drop it in short to the near post. It's Calistri. Tries to cut it back. They're going to say, did it go off of Calistri? Yes, it did. A recovery by T2.
Look, it's creative. It's a creative set piece, but it doesn't come off, which makes you wonder whether they should have gone into the box for Kyle Gregg or one of the big guys. It's nice to see coaches come up with different ways of taking free kicks, but when it ends with nothing, it can be very frustrating. At least you know a ball into the box with height is going to cause some trouble.
You want to see the goalkeeper not know whether to come off his line or not and put that pressure there.
You've been there. You're a goalkeeper, you know.
The balls just seem to get more and more dangerous every year we go on. I mean, it used to be hang it up, but those balls driven in at the 6 that you never know if it's going to flick off a head or not, and you got to stay in your line, and next thing you know, it's in your lap.
Well, some of the worst now are when they bend the free kicks in towards you and someone just gets a touch on it. Those are the hardest free kicks, and in Europe now, a lot of free kicks are like that.
They are. Gregg giving chase. Chidoma. Played back to McIntosh. McIntosh trying to switch the field and doesn't have anything, and he'll go forward. That ball kind of a little pop-up off the artificial turf, but Portland gets a second ball as Mulligan has it now. Mulligan has it to give back to McIntosh for a mulligan. Maybe. Perhaps. No, it doesn't get there. Eventually it does. If you're golfing with him, do you give him a mulligan because his name's Mulligan? No?
No, not if I'm golfing, I don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. That's played out.
This is where Portland can be dangerous because they're good footballers. So now they're in the right position. Can they get on the ball and just play it through, use a bit of skill? Let's have a look.
Ball played into space on the far side. Chidoma. And the header clearance by Calistri will be another throw. We've seen it right here in front of the St. Louis bench. Looking for Williams. Second ball, Langsdorff, and Langsdorff pushes too far. It will be a goal kick. Well, the USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league. 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. And there's another look at that ESPN3 game coming up at the end of the month. St. Louis and Phoenix. And this will be their last USL game in that time at home. Gary, as they'll hit the road for a couple. It may have a USL or US Open Cup game at home, but certainly the last time. And boy, what a matchup! Didier Drogba makes his way in. They're always fun to watch.
It will be great to watch. But you're right. There's, when teams have a lot of games coming up and you get injuries, you get tired legs and bodies and heads. That's where you can get a good run, you can get a bad run. It can affect your entire season.
Here's Barden. Tries to go inside. Second ball deflected out as Dakers now they'll play it back into Kavita. Back to Fink. Reynolds. There's the deke, and now we'll go forward. Near sidelines Culbertson. Culbertson running towards the corner, and Calistri will chip it up for him. Culbertson one-on-one with the defender there, sends it across, but it doesn't clear the front man. Pressure by Gregg. And we'll say it goes off of Culbertson, and it'll be a goal kick.
It's nice football from St. Louis. I mean, they're trying to play it down the left flank. They're trying to get the ball in and get a quality ball in. But sometimes I think when you get close to the box, sometimes it's just good to whip it into space. We saw the one goal scored by Kyle Gregg in the previous match where they just knocked it in the box and he slid it in far post. And sometimes you can be too careful and too clever around the box instead of just getting it in there.
Late goal last game allowed St. Louis to come away with a point at Swope Park, and course, we also talked about the Sam Fink save. Or clearance, I guess, is more appropriate, but when we look at it and you can't knock something off the line, we'll still call it a save. Here's Mulligan for T2. 60th minute. That's a bad ball. And that was even just as bad because they had numbers, it looked like. Instead, will allow T2 to back in it.
Uh-oh, trouble, trouble, yellow card.
And Batista.
It was a purposeful block, or on-purpose block. And moments after he bumped into the player, so the referee's watching you anyway. Not the cleverest move.
Welcome to the match. 15 minutes into this one for Batista, who came on at the half.
Yeah.
He's recorded in the referee's books.
Well, once again, you've now got to tread the last 30 minutes very carefully, Batista. Get yourself sent off, and your coach is going to be a less than happy person when you just come on.
Yeah, you want those fresh legs to at least go the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's one thing getting a yellow card for something. Have a look there. Just steps across, puts an elbow up. That's dangerous play. You know, if you get a yellow card for late tackle trying to stop a shot, yeah, that's one thing, but that's just silly.
Hilton, that ball skied off the turf, but Greg challenged, and it will be a corner kick. That one goes off Batista. Good challenge by Greg, results in the corner kick, and as we mentioned, it will be an Electro Savings corner kick.
Well, let's see what St. Louis can do on this one. We keep saying that every time.
Scoreless, you know, I think we kind of came into this one thinking with Portland's offense or St. Louis's defense, and now it appears to be the St. Louis defense holding a little bit more, but Portland's matching that defense, and it will be another Electro Savings corner kick here for St. Louis as that one goes out on the far side.
Yeah, so much of this is about the quality of the ball in. It's got to have pace on it, and it's got to be in the right area, which are difficult skills. People watching will say, "We'll just get it in there." To get it in there quickly and hard and accurately is a difficult skill, but it's one they should be able to do.
Hilton at the right foot, and will it be? No, it'll be a talking to for someone in the area. You know, and we see some of these balls chip up, I guess, Gary, but a little bit of a product of the turf, you think?
Could be, but I mean, you should be able to deliver on turf or on grass.
That one's sky high, but Fink wins it, and that one's off the foot of Augustine Williams, standing right at the top of the six. That one was probably on target. Don't know if it would have got past everyone, and didn't pass Williams.
Good header from Fink, but again, there's too much height on that ball. It doesn't, you know, you have to provide the power. If it comes to you hard, then you can get a lot more power on the ball. So let's do the same thing, more pace.
Right foot this time, it's Hilton. This one bounces, and it goes by everyone. Run onto, and on the left foot, Dakers will play it off of Batista, now next Williams, and it will be, I believe, another Electro Savings corner kick for St. Louis, racking up those numbers.
Yeah, Electro Savings are getting a mention tonight.
Absolutely. On the far side, seems to be Hilton and Culbertson stepping over. If it's the right foot, you'll know it's Hilton. If it's the left foot, you'll know it's Culbertson. This is Hilton. Back post, headed away. It's Jadama. Now up the field, down the line. It's going to stay in. Got to run onto it. Good hustle there by Dakers. Let me make sure, is that one still going on? A lot of times you might see a player give up on that, and a lot of speed in Williams, and Dakers didn't do it that time. You want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL, make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Played into the area. There's no white shirts within 10 yards of that ball. It's Culbertson playing wide. A little behind Dakers, but Dakers will try and work up some steam coming down the field, but there's way too many white shirts behind him, and he'll go backwards.
Seems like St. Louis have more energy than Portland. Portland, as you just said, not getting bodies in the box, whereas as they got towards the end of the first half, they looked more sprightly, more energetic. Now it's St. Louis looking stronger.
And we see the style now. I mean, Portland really had the pressure up pushing forward the whole first half. Not so much now. Here's a takedown as Culbertson's running down. We'll probably see yellow card. This one to Mulligan.
This is a good, it's a good yellow card to take because he was in.
Great
Lovely ball, yeah.
And Culbertson, great run from the left back position. We see him making an impact in his half of play. There's the ball, and he was in behind him, and Mulligan. From such an angle and with other defenders there, but boy, we've seen some things. If there wasn't another defender, we may have seen a different color there, but that steep of an angle would be tough to do.
Yeah. Great ball in. Quality of ball is what causes the problems. And let's see what St. Louis can do with this one. This is a lot closer to the goal. A lot more difficult for the goalkeeper. All the St. Louis fans thinking, is this the moment we get the breakthrough?
Again, it's Hilton and Culbertson. Looks like it'll be Hilton. Hilton whips it in, header, goal! And it's Greg! And it's 1-0 St. Louis. Great ball.
Oh, has it not been given? Carl Gregg saying what's happened. That was a fantastic ball in, fantastic header. And
wow.
Something has, is it a pushing in the box?
Did they run a pick play?
Wow,
so
what a
the
pity.
only thing I can think, but there is no goal. St. Louis on what is a great ball. We see the shove. I don't know. Was he offside?
Offside, he's saying. He must be saying he's offside.
Was he behind? I mean, we see where the wall is set.
It's a great header. It's a brave header because the keeper was coming flying out.
The only thing I could see is offside, perhaps. Tough shot up there, Gary, but St. Louis almost as Dequa is clipped from behind.
Well, the energy's gone up a level, Mike.
Really
we were close. We were close to the opening goal, and still think it's going to come.
It really was. Not the case, though. And as we've talked about, 7 games, 7 goals for St. Louis. We thought we saw the 8th in the 8th game, but that's not it.
And who is it from again? Kyle Gregg.
Yeah, he's been the most dangerous player for St. Louis tonight.
He has. I think he's a quality player there. And brave, really brave to go and head the ball as the goalkeeper's coming out to punch it.
So we're still scoreless. 67th minute here in St. Louis. An apparent goal and an apparent offside as it's waved off. A little pressure, and that's a dangerous ball and handled well by Kavita. He'll play it up over his head. St. Louis will look to go forward. And it's over the line, and throw in will go for the green and red of St. Louis. Or shall we say San Luis today if we're from Mexico.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Anchor movie, San Diego. Do you know what that stands for? Not the case. Culbertson with it. As Calistri splits the defenders, the foul will be whistled upon Tuioloma.
Well, St. Louis doing all the pressing. They've got the energy, got the desire. Let's have a look at it again. Not so sure.
He kind of threw the hip in a little bit, but yeah, I think he was a little unfortunate, but that hip movement probably was it. I don't know how much contact it was there, Gary, but
your hips don't lie. Yeah, it's what you call a soft free kick, but you know, you get them. Question is what you're going to do with them.
That is the chance. Last one was offside. Culbertson on the far side. It's played up. Still free. Now overhead kick out, but it's down to the left foot. It's going to deflect. Dipping it. McIntosh handles it nicely. Had a little bit of dip on it, a little spin on it, and McIntosh caught it.
Yeah, not too much of a problem for the goalkeeper. By the time it got to him, the pace had been taken off. But just wondering if you're the Portland Timbers coach, Cameron Knowles, whether you're thinking, well, hang on a second, guys, we're just not in this game at the moment. The last 10 minutes, we've done nothing.
69th minute, Toyota Stadium, St. Louis, Missouri. Scoreless between St. Louis and Portland T2. Mike Pepper, Gary Bailey, the header back to Fennelson. who we haven't seen a lot of this second half, that's for sure.
Made one good save,
That's
one
true.
very important
You're
save.
right. The turnover there in the defensive third by St. Louis. And he was up to task. Maybe a little bit out of position, but certainly stood and held his angle well. You don't like being caught in no man's land when your team loses it, and fortunately made the good save. Here's Culbertson. Deflects off a mulligan, and McIntosh, yeah, kept it in. Nice job.
Yeah, Culbertson's made a difference down that left-hand side.
Really has.
Yeah, a very positive runner and a very dangerous man when he gets on the ball. So maybe he's part of the reason why St. Louis looked so much more positive this second half.
He started at the right back the last couple of games, or left back, excuse me. Williams slowing it down. A good chance now for Portland as they go in. Played in. A flip on. Chest down by Reynolds. Send it back up the field, but it's handled by Portland. Into that minute where we might see a offensive sub for St. Louis. Just a moment, I would imagine. Can't read Greg. Greg's been pretty active.
No, don't take him off, please, Mike.
No.
Don't say that.
Just wondering if you rotate those up front men. They have made one sub. T2 has made two. Sent across. That one's going to be too far for everyone. Could be a throw in here for.
Got to mention the fans again, Mike. They're still going strong. Fabulous.
We mentioned the first half, St. Louligans, and tonight they were collecting soccer balls for Will's Warriors. Will Oler, a young man who made it a goal to get 100 soccer balls for donations for other kids who might need them in the air. And already, as we heard coming into the game, over 650, which is a great number.
That's wonderful. I mean, as supporters, they're spending money, they're coming to the ground, they're making such an effort to sort of help their team. And on top of that, they're raising money for good causes. Fabulous.
And donations still available, too. And, you know, one of the things I did read on that, Gary, is that Oklahoma City, some of the other teams have been doing a little bit and sending balls that way as well. So,
brilliant. Wonderful.
So hopefully, if you want to donate, you check out the St. Louis FC website on USL Soccer. And one of the stories is on the St. Louligans and what their mission is, and just who happens to mention this one. Goal kick here for St. Louis. And you can keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey still hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. And I want to remind you, too, as you see the Twitter logo up there, be sure to visit one of the 7 local St. Louis area Toyota dealers. Toyota, a proud sponsor of St. Louis FC. That ball sent across, and they'll work the ball up the field. Now sent in, it's Hilton. And Dakers can't quite connect, and the ball sent up the field. But again, it's Fink on it. Towards the corner by Barden. Casually sent up by Batista. Here's Andre Lewis. And now taken away by St. Louis, and it's Culbertson.
Portland just sitting back, run about that halfway line, saying to St. Louis, you want it in your half, play it around, do what you want. As soon as you come into our half, we're going to try and close you down.
Played out wide, it's won by Batista. And Batista is Dakers. We've already seen a card issued to Batista. He got his cleats up. Referee doesn't seem to have an interest in anything more, but there is a foul in a dangerous area.
Yeah, it's not worth a yellow, but Batista's going to be careful. What it is, once again, another good set piece for St. Louis. If St. Louis end this game, Mike, after all the corners and free kicks they've had without scoring, it's going to be very frustrating for them and their coaching staff, because once or twice the quality's been really good, only a few times. And when it has, as we saw with the disallowed goal, they've got the people to finish it off. So they've really got to make something out of these opportunities.
Interesting enough, Lewis Hilton's kind of yelling a couple things over at the linesman.
What, don't disallow the goal again?
Perhaps, I don't know. A little speculation. So it was an offside officially done. And this is, again, Culbertson on it. Hilton if it's the right foot. Let's see where this one comes in. It's Hilton. Back course and not a good service, and it will go over the line.
That is so frustrating. You've got so many bodies in the box. If that's a little bit shorter, it's going to be on the end of somebody's head.
So frustrating, as you mentioned there, is Kavita all the way up from his right back position. You get the big bodies of Reynolds and Fink up there.
And he saw glory for a moment, Mike, at Kavita. He thought, this is a big moment. And the ball goes too long.
You make the 50-yard jog, only to have to make a 60-yard mid-sprint to get back. Headed back up the field, near side. T2 sends it up. T2 wearing all white tonight. St. Louis again. We mentioned on Cinco de Mayo having the Mexican flag colors as their uniform tonight. Here is Dequa. Backhill, back to Dequa. Nice one by Calistri. Dequa run off the ball. Ooh, that's
close to obstruction when you do that.
When you go 4 yards away from the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm just looking at St. Louis, and Coach Anthony Pulis has got to be very happy with the second half. It's been all St. Louis. They've dominated. They've looked more energetic. They've won the set pieces. They've maybe haven't had the quality to finish them off, but you know they've had the disallowed goal. Conversely, if you're Portland and your coach Cameron Knowles, you're going, guys, what happened? We ended the first half so well, so positive, so full of energy.
It looks like we might have a sub. As you can see right now, McIntosh taking a moment. See if we can get a little clarification. It looks like McIntosh ready to put it back into play. No, it's Dakers who actually has maybe a little bit of a cut. We got a little blood going, perhaps. Have to come off. Blood on the jersey, so I've seen a couple times. Boy, that was a rough play there, and it's turned out it's a throw in for T2.
Is that big Batista again?
That is.
Gotta be careful.
He'll get it back off the throw. You know, honestly, I'm trying. I'm back on the play. You guys saw Batista last year. Came on a game, and within 2 minutes, he got a red card.
Did he?
Yeah, it's late.
It wouldn't surprise me. He looks quite a sort of aggressive type of player. Well taken keeper. Excellent catch.
Strong off his line. It's always a relief if you're a defender. You know that your keeper's out there, and all right, it's one of those things. A strong keeper in the area is always a good fit.
Because if you're the center half, even if you win the header, goes to the edge of the box, and you've got to rush out and close attackers down. There's a lot of work to be done. When your keeper comes and catches it, everybody can relax and push out.
Absolutely. In for Dequa. Looks like St. Louis will be making a sub, and it will be Corey Herzog. Herzog will be on for Dequa. That'll be their second sub of the day. And a reminder as well that this substitution brought to you by G&W Meats. Bavarian style sausage company. I'm hungry all of a sudden, but Herzog on. Former Pittsburgh Riverhound last year. Before that, a Tampa Bay Rowdy. High draft pick of the New York Red Bulls back about 6 years ago. And the throw-in will go St. Louis's way.
Well, Herzog's coming on at a good time for a striker because they're in the ascendancy, St. Louis. They're pushing, they're probing, and that's the ideal time for a fresh striker to get on the end of something.
A little extra step because the defense maybe a little more time.
Exactly.
Fans, remind you that just this past Thursday, the Player of the Month for the USL opened up for April, and it runs throughout the weekend. So you can have your say on the USL's Player of the Month in the online poll at uslsoccer.com, and it will go through tomorrow. So vote for you think should be the Player of the Month. Chance now. Cross will deflect off. It's Dakers, and That's just a bad foul. You're going to earn a throw, and you run into the back of Williamson, and you've given away an opportunity.
Exactly, exactly. It doesn't help your cause at all. Let's have a look at it. As you say, let him run it, let him take it out.
You've got a throw in. And even if he stops it right there at that point, he's got nowhere to go.
Exactly. But it's easy for us to say.
It is.
He's 79 minutes into a match where he's tired and frustrated. And
that's the time.
We've been there. We know what it's like.
But these are the moments that make the difference. You know?
There's Coach Anthony Pulis just wondering, what do I do? I'm the home side. I've got to get a result. I brought on a sub, and I'm going to have a moan as well.
Well, St. Louis has 3 shutouts on the season. 10 minutes from their fourth, but also 10 minutes from being shut out for the first time this year.
Well, it's too many draws. They've won 3, but they've drawn 3. That's 6 points they've allowed to slip away. And you know, if they draw a 4th one here, then it's 8 points. Those are crucial.
Drop down by Calistri.
You're not going to turn every draw into a win, but you want to turn a fair majority of them into a win.
Sent out. Hilton under pressure. It was going to go too far, and that's a bad ball. 2-2 will have it, and it will be Batista on the throw. Pointed out there, Gary, that we're in the last 9 minutes, and more than likely 1 goal may stand up for either team, whoever gets it. But St. Louis has not trailed a lot this year at all, as they've scored the first goal 5 of those 7 times.
You can see why they don't give you much, and right now they're not giving Portland anything. So if you were a betting person, you'd probably think, well, if anyone's going to score, it's more likely to be St. Louis.
And yet still have not tested McIntosh officially in this half.
One disallowed goal. What a pity. What a good goal it was as well.
Poked by Barton. Tuioloma runs out, and it's Batista who can't keep it in. Dakers. Yeah, he's got to be careful on that, too. Portland. Loria will be in. Making her way in for Jack Barmby. We haven't called his name a lot in the second half. We saw him a bit in the first there, Gary, but it seems to slow down a bit.
He did look good in the first half. Let's see what Loria can do.
Marvin Loria out of Costa Rica. So I'm wondering, is that Marvin Loria?
If he's anywhere near as good as Keylor Navas is from Costa Rica, he's going to be some player.
Absolutely. T2 has no more subs remaining in this one. St. Louis could use one if they choose. Culbertson. Touched into Hilton, back to Barden. Barden has Dakers running wide, and the ball pops up. And it just seems a lot. I really think a lot is this artificial surface around the league a little bit. Just a lot of times maybe a tired leg too, but we see those balls driven a lot more on maybe grass. But you know what we're going to see is another corner kick, which will be an Electro Savings corner kick here for St. Louis.
Electro Savings getting their money's worth today. I want to know whether there's going to be a goal from one of these Electro Savings corner kicks.
Couple of chances on their 9th one of the game. This one driven in low, it's flipped on, and now the touch will clear the heads of everyone, but it will be on the far side. Dakers will run it down. Into Herzog, back out. That's driven across by Reynolds. And it's a handball on Barden. 84th minute, still scoreless, but St. Louis really been in control this second half. Portland did have the one opportunity that Fenelson came up huge on. And a disallowed goal on a dangerous free kick that Saw Greg maybe offsides by about a step, but ooh, that's a foul. There's Culbertson taken down by Loria. Welcome to the game.
You can see that St. Louis are the team that want to win this. They're taking the free kicks quickly. They're energetic. They're pushing for it. I love that in them. But they want to win this. They're not going to settle for the draw at home.
Hidden. And Corey Herzog whistled for a foul. Only one time has T2 been shut out this year. Corey Herzog is asking for a yellow card, and he's going to get it. Maybe those weren't his exact words, but he said something to warrant it.
Don't put your hands out, son. Don't leave the referee alone.
Whistled for a foul he didn't think he committed, and you can't be that demonstrative when you're talking to the referee, can you?
Exactly. No, it was a soft foul. I agree with him. It's frustrating, but get on with it. No point shouting at the referee and having a go at him or her. You're going to get into trouble. Save your energy for the 50-50. You've got to go and win in a minute's time, or the diving header in the last second.
McIntosh with the free kick. He's capable of doing it. T2 as he's Loria taking off the ball. Strong by Barton. Hilton now. Switches across. Calistris found himself on the right for the first time tonight. That ball is not good and chased down by T2. Lewis makes it difficult for Batista, and Batista will send it over the line. Throw in.
Oh, frustrating. Another bad bit of service into the box. If you're a St. Louis striker, it's been a tough evening of possible chances and bad final balls.
Hard tackle by Barton will lead this counterattack as they get the ball back in midfield. Now it's sent in, and it's taken a little slowly by St. Louis, and Loria will push forward. Loria has a little bit of space. He'll tee it up from 30, and it will go over everything. It'll be a goal kick. Loria trying to make an impact in his short time on the field. Lots of space for Calistri.
Probably too much space, to be honest. He's turned, he's run at the defense. He's just about 5 yards outside the box before he gets challenged.
And Greg, left foot, he'll send it over. Little touch by Herzog, Dakers. That's back across the box, and no green shirts challenging that one. Second ball out, and Kavita rescued by Fink, but Fink just sends it up. Fink didn't want to lose it in the midfield, so McIntosh will have the ball from 45 yards further down the field.
As it came to Dakers, I'm thinking, hit it on the volley. Don't try and bring it down. You haven't got time. Hit it on the volley and see what happens, and he didn't. Sometimes you haven't got time to bring the ball down in the box. As much as you'd like to, you just got to take it as it comes and hope you connect it really well.
That could be a handball, but not seen. Over for Batista. Back for Chidama, and now McIntosh. He'll look to go long. He does. 89th minute now, and we're still scoreless here. It's been a while for a scoreless draw for St. Louis. Date back to last year on August 5th. So maybe it's the 5th of the month here that is a problem, as we're on May 5th right now. Exactly in this stadium against Swope Park, as we mentioned. Foul called this time on Langsdorff. And this is Williams.
Has he been booked already?
No, I don't think he has, actually. I think this is just going to be it, and now he will be booked.
He was warned, wasn't he? He said to him, yeah, you're right, he hasn't been booked. But he has been warned, been told time and time again, watch your mouth, get on with the game. Yeah, Augustine Williams from Sierra Leone, 21 years of age, so he's youngish in soccer terms. Not young, but youngish. But these are the things you've got to learn and learn quickly, how to be the consummate professional.
He's the golfer coach Cameron Knowles and his young T2 squad. Teaching these guys how to be something more so. And really, we've seen, I mean, Williams been whistled for the foul. This is a late foul. And just don't complain about it at that point. 90th minute now. Don't make it worse for yourself at this point. That ball poked back, and it'll be whistled for a foul will be Barton.
Now he's remonstrating with the referee, jumping up and down. He's going to have to be careful.
The fourth official has indicated 2 minutes.
And it will only be 2 minutes of stoppage time here, Gary. So, well, looks like we may be destined for a scoreless draw.
Or perhaps a winner here from Portland. They've done nothing second half.
Yeah,
but
90th minute.
Yeah.
Opportunity to put a dangerous ball into the area.
What about that Batista? He's 6'15" or something. He looks huge at that far post. A decent ball into him. Let's see what happens.
It'll be Williamson. He'll chip it up. Back post, headed back across, and it's over everyone that time. Now it's sent up the field by St. Louis. Won by Lewis, Andre Lewis. And it will go off the foot. No, it looked like it went off the foot of Batista, but not seen that way. So it'll be thrown in by Batista up the field. That one's cleared out. Portland, though, with it. Williamson. Portland in the final minute now. We're past a minute of stoppage of the 2 scheduled. Here's Mulligan. Won nicely by Culbertson. Culbertson will look up. Does St. Louis have one more attack in him? Or will they turn it over? And they do turn it over. Williamson on it. Hilton. Now play it out wide. Loria. Loria towards the back post. It's Fink who wins the header. Will it go out for a corner kick? Will they let it go out for a corner kick? He does. Batista. Actually, that's Williams. Williams will play it short quickly. Williams now looking in. It's headed up. Strong header that time by Kavita. T2 again with possession. They've had possession the entire 2 minutes of stoppage time. Looking to push for a winner here on the road. Loria. Loria on the left foot. Loria shot, and Fendelson down to the near post. Don't know if it was on target, but boy, oh boy, if that's worthy of a final whistle, that's going to be it. We're scoreless draw, and boy, Gary, I don't think it was on target, but boy, handled it nicely too. Not for any rebounds for sure.
He did. It was a decent save, but frustration all around. I'm sure the home side, St. Louis, are going to say, really, second half, we should have won that. We should have got those extra points. Portland Timbers might look at a good chance in the first half when Fendelson dropped it. And the last couple of minutes there, and thought, well, maybe we could have sneaked it in the end. An honorable draw.
St. Louis were shut out for the first time this year, but they do earn a point, as does Portland on the road. We will come back and wrap this one up. St. Louis and Portland. Scoreless, but Gary, we'll wrap this up here. A couple of good chances for both teams, but no one was able to find the back of the net, and what was a game that saw both teams end up with 1 point on the end of the night and a scoreless draw. St. Louis and Portland, 0-0. Good night, everybody.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees.
There's really only one place where the carpets are always red and the stars are everywhere you look. There's no place like Hollywood. Hollywood Casino St. Louis.
When you need quality electrical work for your home or business, look to the electricalconnection.org. Created as a partnership between IBEW Local 1 electricians and the St. Louis chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, the Electrical Connection has been setting the standard for electrical excellence in St. Louis for over 100 years. You can depend on our highly skilled and trained workforce, your #1 source for quality electrical and communication contractors, electricalconnection.org.
Your summer starts here with a great deal on a new Toyota.
Make this summer the best ever with big savings on many of our most popular models. Offers end June 4th. To find out more about all our great deals, visit Toyota.com.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Well, welcome to the post game, everyone. It's St. Louis FC, Portland Timbers 2. Finish scoreless. St. Louligans still supporting everyone. Portland still making their way up. They got to be happy. Mike Pepper and Gary Bailey. And Gary, let's take a look at the highlights here as we saw no goals scored in this one, but well, we might see one, but it didn't eventually count into the final book here. Get a good look here at the start, and you know, always the honorary captains. That's always fun. Teams get out there for the obligatory shot, and early on, Portland had the best chance in there in that first half.
Yeah, Fennelson just dropping the ball there, makes the save from his error. He knows that he puts his hands together, and he knows he should have done better. Good attacking moves early on from Portland too, and this is one of their best moments and one that maybe should have counted.
Well, it was Fennelson's fourth shot. That was as close. Well, another save in the second half. Here's a Greg opportunity on this second opportunity in the first half.
Yeah, look, it's probably just going wide, but Kendall McIntosh gets across, nice and athletic and agile, makes 100% sure. But Kyle Gregg, as we've said many times, he was a man through which everything seemed to happen for St. Louis.
That was each of the team's best opportunities in the first half. Here's another one by Greg that just didn't ride the post.
Yeah, just threatened, and McIntosh very wisely just following the ball around the post. But again, Greg able to make something out of very, very little.
You see Stanley looking for him. It was a good ball in. That one just didn't come off clean, and may have gone off T2 player, but nothing called. Into the second half. Here's Fink. A little careless on that one, and Fennelson really had to be big.
Yeah, Fink was nearly punished there, and Fennelson does well, goes down to his left, pushes the ball away from trouble. That was another good opportunity for Portland, who probably had the best of the first half.
And going on that, it was Arboleda on that chance. Here's the disallowed goal here, though, Gary. That's disheartening.
Oh, it's a great goal. I mean, Kyle Gregg, brave as can be, but he did go a little bit early. I mean, it must have been a very close call for offside. We can only but trust the linesman got it right.
The offsides call, as you can see the step back in here. The offsides call, yep.
Just ahead of the defense, perhaps.
Probably took us away from a Domino's replay of the St. Louis goal, because it did not count. Greg pleading his case, but it did not to no avail. And you can see eventually a pretty even game all around, although the second half controlled by St. Louis, nothing on the board.
Yeah, nothing on the board. Again, you know, look, 10 shots, only 2 on target, 9 and only 3 for Portland Timbers. That's very low. You want to have it much higher than that. You want to make sure the keepers on both sides work a lot more. And certainly, we've said it many times, St. Louis with their set pieces have to have better quality into the box, especially when they've got someone as good as Kyle Gregg waiting for decent balls in.
A bit of a physical game, and I think all the yellow cards in this one all deserved throughout as well. So on this, I mean, if you're St. Louis or Portland, T2, you take away pretty, at least if you're T2, you went on the road and you had a good result.
Yeah, and it's a much younger team, so as Portland too, yes, you'll take that. I think as St. Louis, you'll take another clean sheet and say, hey, you know, we're hard to beat. We're going to the best clean sheet records in the league.
Our fourth of the year.
Yeah, but then you will point to goals scored and say, yet again, another draw, 4th of the season. We're losing points because we cannot score enough goals.
And the tough thing, you'll have 3 road games coming up. 2 of them this week at the Galaxy and at Orange County. You go a couple weeks in Colorado Springs, you'll have a U.S. Open Cup game mixed in there. And then, of course, the ESPN game, Phoenix Rising before Swope Park. So tough little run here. And St. Louis going to need to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix Rising with Didier Drogba are good. Swope Park are playing really well. Orange County, top of the league. So it's one of those where, as a coach, you look at it and think, well, we needed those extra 2 points today because we might not get as many as we want coming up.
And there is that ESPN 3 USO Game of the Week. And we'll see it coming up here on, I believe that's going to be on Thursday night, as Fresno FC and Rio Grande Valley. And then we'll be back here, St. Louis and Phoenix Rising. And you see the rest of the schedule throughout June and July. You can always check out ESPN 3 for the schedule. Well, Gary, it was fun. We didn't see any goals, but, you know, it was certainly an entertaining game for the most scoreless. But, yeah,
pity about the goals. And there was one, but it was disallowed. Come on, linesman. What are you thinking?
There it was. All right, well, it is scoreless for Gary Bailey. I'm Mike Pepper. Both St. Louis FC and T2 will get a point in the standings, but neither one is like kissing your sister. This one is over. It's scoreless. Have a good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.